My name is Ross King. I'm an organ builder. We are in Ridgely Presbyterian Church in Fort Worth, where the firm that I work for and manage has just finished a new organ. This is Elisa Williams, who's a wonderful organist. She works for us part-time, and she wanted us to come and talk a little bit about how the different pipes create sound and the different voices in the organ. And I thought we would start off by talking about geography. Since the organ has 4 keyboards, 3 for the hands and 1 for the feet, we can start with the middle keyboard that's called the grate. It's right in the middle of things, and it has the main body of sound in the organ, and those pipes are located on the west side, on the left side, and those are the ones. You start playing, and I will turn on some of the stops. That's the grate, and above it, that keyboard is called the swell keyboard. The pipes for the swell are behind the pipes in the grate. We can't see the swell because those pipes are behind the grill up there at the second floor level, but there are shutters that the organist can open and close with the large pedal that allows the sound to swell and then go back. Give us a demonstration of the swell. You notice that Elisa used her foot to open the swell pedal, and then she also uses her feet to play the bottom keyboard or the pedal keyboard. The pipes for the pedal are like the pipes for the grate, except they're on the opposite side of the room, on the east side, and they're the pipes that we see above us. The 24 outside pipes are the pedal 8-foot principal. The longest pipe is 8 feet long, and that's low C. Next is D. Next is E. And your question is, where is C sharp?
I do want to know.
Well, the other pipes are on that side over there. So it's C, C sharp, D sharp.
Well, how come you split them up like that?
Because in this room we thought that looked the best. It kept it balanced this way.
Now, what about the ones in the middle? Because they look different than the outside.
Most of the pipes in the organ are made of the traditional metal that's been used since before Columbus discovered America. It's an alloy of lead and tin. You can see that these pipes have a little bit of texture to them, spotted texture. The reason we don't use this metal for pipes longer than 4 feet is that it gets too heavy.
Oh, it would fall down?
Well, it would wilt.
Maybe it was bend a little bit.
And since these pipes are over the choir, we thought we'd use something lighter weight, like aluminum, and it's stiff and it won't wilt. In this church house, the choir sits on that side of the chancel. So they needed pipes especially designed for accompanying the choir. We have those on the choir keyboard, and those pipes are located behind the wooden grill at the second floor level. We tried to have pipes that we thought would be especially useful for accompanying the choir.
So are they all quiet then?
They're not all quiet. Let's start with the 8-foot viola. Now again, we call it 8-foot viola because low C plays a pipe that's 8 feet long, but that's the same pitch as a piano. Play a little bit on the choir, viola. Those pipes, like I say, are at the second floor level behind the choir. Your question was, are they all soft? No, there are some loud pipes in the choir. There are some that have a large sound like this. Well, first let's play that viola. I have a viola pipe right here. You can see that pipe is fairly small, where this kind of pipe is fairly large, and that makes a big sound like, let's say, this right here. Play that same note on this keyboard.
So it's the same pitch?
It's the same pitch because it's the same length. If it were a high-pitched pipe, it would be short.
Okay.
If it were a long pipe, it would play a low note. Can you make the sound louder on any of these notes?
Not this one. It's the same no matter what I do.
Well, if you play on the piano, you can make it louder by pressing harder. But on the organ, it just plays. It's up to the organ builder to determine how loud the sound will be.
And you can't change it after that?
Well, I can change it when we build the organ.
Huh.
And if we needed this pipe to be louder, we would use an awl, a little pointed tool, and open the toe, and it would let more wind in, and it would be louder. But we set all of this, the loudness, when we voice the organ, when we build the organ.
You build the organ here at the church?
We finish the organ here, but this is a whole lot of stuff. We built this in our shop, which is about 5 miles from here.
Okay.
We have a large shop with a lot of woodworking equipment and a lot of metalworking equipment. We built the organ completely in our shop, assembled it, connected the keyboard to it, the console. This is called the console, of course, that has the keyboards. We connected it all and played it in the shop, and then we brought it all here to the church house and installed it. And that took us about 3 months to install it and to voice it. What is voicing?
What is voicing?
Well, that's adjusting how loud each pipe plays
Okay.
and what the tone quality is. Very much like a choir director directs the choir and brings some voices louder and some softer and some brighter and some deeper.
Now, I heard a pipe earlier that was really a lot louder, a lot brighter.
Well, that's a cromorn. This is a cromorn pipe, and it is a different kind of sound from the viola or one of those flutes. It is because it has a brass reed inside.
Looks like a clarinet.
This pipe would sound just like this. If you'll hold that, that is so small that it's hard to see. And here is that portion for a much larger pipe that might be like low C from the contra trumpet. That sound is made by this kind of reed that has a tube here that goes on up 16 feet.
Can you show me?
I can show you. Let's go look. Let me show you how this part works, since it's like a saxophone. It has a brass reed that vibrates on a mouthpiece. Of course, in the saxophone, it's made of reed, like, bamboo. But here in an organ, it has to be made of brass. Or a clarinet, if I take the reed out, you can see that the mouthpiece has a slot in it. And then when it plays, the wind goes between the vibrating brass tongue as it vibrates back and forth, and then out through the mouthpiece and out the top and out 16 feet to the other end of the resonator, and we hear. There it is. And that's what we hear. If we go upstairs, we can see several things. We can see this pipe, and we can see where the wind comes from. It blows all of the pipes. Here we are on the second floor, organ chambers. There's one on each side. We talked about where the wind comes from that blows the pipes. Well, this is an electric centrifugal blower. It supplies wind for the pipes on the west side of the organ. It actually uses less electricity than the vacuum cleaner. In fact, it's like a vacuum cleaner that's just hooked up backwards, so it's doing that instead of doing this.
So there's a separate one for the other side of the
Separate blower for the other side. We're again in the second floor chamber, and the very long 16-foot pedal pipe, that is low C, that's 16 feet long, is up there, and we reach it to tune by going up the ladder.
Well, Ross, I see all the metal pipes that you talked about, but that one's wood.
There are some pipes in the organ that are made of wood. These pipes were made in 1935.
Wow.
And they're very fine mahogany wood. We kept these pipes and reworked them to use in this organ. They sound just right for this room.
Well, thank you for showing me inside the organ, Ross. It's really fascinating up here.